Why underground crew jobs are considered unskilled labour. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and one of the questions that I'm forever being asked is why on all the crew ads it says you must be a resident or a permanent resident of Australia and have rights to work within Australia for all the crew jobs. So if we jump over to the sponsors website then and have a look at the pay rates and rosters, you'll see the entry level jobs and the second tier jobs and the third tier jobs, and the third tier jobs pay up to $2,000 a day. And you know, the reason that they called them unskilled labour or class them as unskilled labour is because the act can only happen in one place, and that's on a mine site. Whereas with a sparky or a diesel fitter or some other trade, you can do that in multiple workplaces. Whereas mining, you can only mine on a mine site. So that's why the Australian government considers it unskilled labour from that technical definition. Now, that does open up some good loopholes for people living in Australia, because while it's classed as unskilled labour, the companies can only employ Australian citizens or permanent residents. They can't bring people in from overseas to fill those jobs. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was that the reason that they do call them unskilled labour is, like I said, that it can only be performed in one place, but that does not make these jobs unskilled. In fact, you know, the jumbo operating job, charge up, all of it, it's all quite skilled. It's very repetitive, but you have to learn those skills and you have to get good at it for you to make money for the employer. The people that are making $2,000 a day on the jumbo are making their employers a lot of money, and that's why they're getting paid a lot of money to do that sort of stuff. It's the same with all the jobs. They're paying you a lot of money to come to work and make them a lot of money, and for you to do that, you need to know how the mine works and what's going on. And if you want to try and get into the industry, then I suggest you have a look at the DIY Introduction to Underground Mining. It's got the 4 courses with all the units that you need to show the employer that you know what you're getting yourself into. If you want some help with your resume and interview prep, then check out the WinWin package. They help you with your resume and they do interview prep. You still do the 4 online courses plus the seminar. It just gives you a bit more help. There's also a Workready package where you can get a shift boss to help you, but that's a lot more expensive, and that's for people that feel that they're going to need a lot of help to get into the going through the process of getting a job. But I just wanted to clarify that this is the reason why all these jobs say that you have to have live and rights to work in Australia, because all the Hardrock Underground crew jobs are all classed as unskilled labour. But like I said, you know, they're far from unskilled. You know, you don't pay somebody over $300,000 a year if they're unskilled. The definition only comes from the fact that you can technically only do it in one place. So that's the technical reason for it, and like I said, there's a really good silver lining in the fact that they can only use Australian citizens, which the media has totally missed a really good story on. So if you know someone that's trying to get in, just let them know that they're not competing with people from overseas for the crew jobs. If you are a fitter or an engineer or had a trade or a degree, then you would definitely are competing with people coming in from overseas. But like I said, for all the crew jobs that are classed as unskilled labour, they have to employ Aussies for all those jobs in our mines here in Australia. So I hope you found that information helpful, and I know it does a lot of people's head in, and I know a lot of people don't like it when I tell them that they have to be a permanent resident or a citizen to get a job, but that's the way it is. And you know, I've watched a lot of people over the years try and bullshit their way through the system, and as soon as they find out that you've lied to them, doesn't matter how good a worker you are, doesn't matter what you were doing, it's always the same result: a window seat on the next plane ride out of there. So yeah, I hope people understand that that's the reason that it is, and you're better off just, if you're fall into that category where you can't quite jump in at the moment because you're waiting on your permanent residency or something like that, you're better off just waiting than trying to bullshit your way in, because that never works. So yeah, like I said, so I hope you can hope you find that information helpful, and if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel and share the video around, that would be wonderful. Thanks.